Hello friends, in this episode we're going to go through a couple of small towns on Highway 460 in Virginia. Now this would be west of Suffolk, Virginia, and like headed towards Petersburg, that area. And we'll see what there is to see. Maybe not a whole lot to see, but it'll be interesting, and there'll be some things that maybe you didn't know about.
We've done tons of episodes exploring small towns in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, driving our Subaru Forester. Today we're checking out the town of Windsor first. Be sure to count how many big frogs you see. I'm not kidding. Check out the big frogs that you see. Let us know in the comment section how many. Evidently it's the town mascot or something. If you know how many are around the town, let us know. We would also greatly appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share our content. Your support really helps us to grow our channel, and we thank you for that. Windsor is located in Isle of Wight County of Virginia. It was founded in 1902, has a population of about 2,800 people. It's a very small town, only about 4 square miles in size. From what I've heard, one of their main sources of revenue is from issuing speeding tickets to motorists who dare cross into their domain. We're going to take it easy. We're going to keep our foot off of that gas pedal. You'll notice a Burger King with a gas station on the left just before you see a Dairy Queen also on the left. For the last few decades, there's been a humorous billboard, obviously sponsored by the Dairy Queen folks, that asks, which would you prefer, a king with gas or a queen with class? Always struck me as a little bit funny. According to TripAdvisor, going to the park is the only thing to do here. I guess after sucking down a few blizzards at the DQ, you would need to jog or walk to that park. Just like that, you're out of Windsor. Zuni, now it has something that I bet your city or town does not have, or maybe doesn't even want. It has a nudist community. Not kidding. And we'll show that to you at the end of this episode. Zuni is really a part of Ivor, and it used to be kind of more of a town than it is now. But other than getting the chance to see some naked people, if that's your thing, I don't see much that would keep you here. TripAdvisor even says there's nothing to do here. I guess they don't even have a park. They have to drive back the 6 miles to visit Windsor's park. And their only restaurant is both the best restaurant in town, and by default, it's the worst in town too. I guess, when there's no competition, it sets the bar as high or as low as you want it to be, kind of like the limbo dance. Something that we've noticed on this stretch of road, really several things. The first is swampland. It's part of the Blackwater River that drains down to the Albemarle Sound in North Carolina, and ultimately that dumps into the Atlantic Ocean. Swampland, that means snakes and mosquitoes. Neither creatures are my friends. The other thing that you notice driving down this road are some really old, dilapidated houses. Many of them look like no one has lived in them for 50 to 100 years. Some of the roofs are caving in. Some of the walls are falling over. My big question is, why don't the family of whoever inherited this crappy old house tear it down so it won't look so bad for their community? I mean, if you're not going to rehab the old house, and in most of those cases it would be impossible to do so, tear the sucker down. Let the volunteer fire department have their fun. Call the neighborhood arsonist and then stick a for sale sign out. Maybe some business or industry would want to come in here, as it is on a 4-lane highway that connects to Interstate 95. Now, if you happen to own one of these junk properties and a light bulb just went off in your noggin, when you follow my advice, don't forget, send me a commission check. No need for a thank you. I don't care about a thank you note or anything. Just the commission check. That will suffice. Okay, now we're coming into Ivor. Don't blink, but you've crossed over into Southampton County. Ivor has a population of about 300 people. I'm guessing they wanted to leave at some point in time, but they got stuck and they gave up. Also, the Confederate flags. People, really? Just take them down? That war was fought over 150 years ago, and seriously, you need to move on. You need to get over it. You lost. You are an American citizen, and we're all on the same side now. Approaching Wakefield next. Now, between Windsor, Zuni, Ivor, and Wakefield, if someone were to threaten my life and say that you've got to live in one of these small towns, hands down, I would choose Wakefield. Cute little town, has a very nice restaurant. We're going to have lunch there in a few minutes. Some small shops, and we're going to see one of those. You will too. And everyone we met, they weren't looking at us like we were unwelcome outsiders. Some small towns that you go in, you suspect that there's a wall in someone's garage or their shed with about 40 driver's license posted that once belonged to people who are now in an FBI cold case file. Wakefield, it didn't feel that way. The town is small, only a little over 1 square mile in size, has a population of just under 800. It's in Sussex County, Virginia, and it dates back to the mid-1700s. There are a couple of restaurants here, but of course the Virginia Diner is the choice that most people make when they're driving through and need a place to stop and eat. There's an art gallery and a small airport.
After leaving the Virginia Diner, we saw across the street this building that on the roof is painted the words "Plantation Peanuts Sold Here." So we decided to stop and check out plantation peanuts that are sold there. And we walked through, and they've got little samples of all the different kind of peanuts. I didn't know they did peanuts like this. I mean, you know, You've got the regular salted peanuts. You've got salted and pepper peanuts. You've got dill pickle flavored peanuts. You've got Cajun peanuts, jalapeno peanuts, honey roasted peanuts. What else? You've got chocolate covered peanuts. It's like the peanut edition of Forrest Gump. Got peanuts and peanut brittle and peanut candy and anyway, wonderful place, wonderful friendly lady in there helped us out, and we got some peanuts to take home. And there's a Q Daddy's on the left. We've eaten there in Smithfield, Virginia. If you've not seen that episode, you need to go back and look at it. Q Daddy's barbecue is yum yum. And if you kept on west on 460, obviously you go to Waverly, then to Petersburg and Lynchburg. I don't think we're going to do those today. But I do want to go a little bit further because I want to show you the little airport that's here. There's some of those dilapidated houses I've told you about. And the Wakefield Airport.
We did notice this house for sale, and I just had to look it up, see how much it costs, not looking personally as in wanting to move here, but just curious. It's 1,040 square feet, and it looks like it's been totally renovated, but $229,000. This is not a beach cottage, but if small town life is what you're looking for and thinking about, I'm sure that they will negotiate with you. Okay. Did someone say Nudist resort? Let's go take our clothes off and check it out. We'll show you everything that we saw.
All right, this is where we turned off of 460 just before you get to Ivor. And you go down 1.2 miles to Whitetail Park. And I think it looks like you turn right there. Whitetail Resort, Whitetail Drive. Renee is going to go in and check out the place. Gee, I wonder why they've got the big solid fence up here at the Whitetail Resort. Family Nudist Community.
Oh my God.
Well, I guess that's all we're going to see, and probably all we want to see. The sign says that they established this resort back in 1984, and if folks moved in when they were in their 40s and stripped, that would put them in their 80s now. No thanks. Please keep the gate locked tight. Maybe the gate is not to keep people out, it's to keep the people that are in there in there. Don't you be driving naked down to the Virginia Diner now and scaring any small children. Thank you for riding with us today and checking out a few small towns in southeast Virginia. Our adventures are so much better because you're on the journey with us. Be sure to catch up on any episodes that you might have missed. As always, have an amazing week, my friend. We look forward to traveling with you again in the next episode.